I mean, good thing I didn't. Crazy. What? What's going on? Unexpected error. Wow. CPU crash. Huh. I mean GPU. That's crazy. That shit was working perfect yesterday when it was just a beta. I don't know what the hell they did since then, but like, bruh, that shit was working perfect yesterday. And then all of a sudden now they changed it from beta to playtest, and now that shit just wonky. Oh god. The eggs. Cause you need two big back. Jordan, big back. Jordan, the big back. Jordan, the big back. All right, let's do this. We gonna change the. Let's go high. What? Oh, I did that before. And then like gave it a little bit more. Yeah, like I brew it. Then I had took the coffee, poured it in the kettle, and then poured it back on top of the. Yeah. I had did it with the 9 o'clock before. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, so I lowered the graphics down to high instead of epic or cinematic. Cinematic. Look like an egg coming out. Let's say defeat 1,000. What? Oh, I can't go over there. Okay. Ain't shit here to defeat. You want some of this? You want some of this? Defeated his ass. Kicked his ass. Now we up out of here. Game tip: Z to crouch. God, bro. What? The dungeon is every time I leave the dungeon, bro. So it's not even the settings or nothing. It's just every time I leave the dungeon. It's gotta be in the camera, huh? Wait, what's your little ugly gray hairs on your mustache? I'm trying to see if your boo go catch you on camera again.
Thus did hubris swallow me whole, wrought by my own folly. The void has consumed us all, forsaken by our God. Calamity bears not name nor face, yet draws closer still.
At least we ain't in that dumbass dungeon no more, so hopefully it don't mess up. Y'all see her mustache? It's gray. I ain't got no motherfucking mustache. Follow the trail of light. It's up high. Where is the trail of light taking you? Down the river? Yeah.
Shall guide your way. May it be a steadfast beacon.
I don't think they want me to quick travel. Use the bell to use the bond stone to enter the cathedral citadel. Bond stone. Where's the citadel? Oh shit! Yo, that was dope. What, baby Jesus? Bruh, it's doing some shit. It's doing some shit. Come on, man. Oh, did it go over there?
Sentinel of Cetera. Welcome to the Citadel.
Oh, just crazy. It just showed her like messing with a big ass clock. A hub between 12 Worlds? Damn. Choice not. Before all that, did you defeat that which lurks within the... I did not, because there wasn't shit there. It must be dealt with. Find a way to grow stronger and save the planet. This burden is now yours. Very simple. Trust you. Well, can I talk to you again? The shield on this big ass thing right here. What's that? It built the bearing symbol. Your home world. The void. Bearing the symbol of, Zeta. So is these all the worlds? The world has already been consumed, bruh. Damn. Oh, it is. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 worlds. What was this one called? Bayer? Is it like the medicine? Mongolians. Oh. The void has ceased. What is it? The void seized control of most of the world, yet you sense an unknown force resisting its invasion. Remains still. Shit. You sense nothing. The pillars have heavily damaged. You sense its presence lurking within. Alright, and I think this one we got, yeah, okay. So, this one, we did that one. I think we did this one too. Yeah. And then I think this is the last one. Yeah, that's the one. That was the last one we did. And then this is our world. Okay. So that would be... Oh. Let's go here. Hold on, it say enter the Chronos gate. How do I do that? Okay, I did not mean to do that. Is that the... Is this the... Stone. Okay, how do you... Come over here! Okay. How do you enter? That's for that. PvP mode. Fishing. Campfire mount. Can't use the mount. Markers. Don't know. I might take all the books off the shelf up here. So not all of them. Maybe like a secret passage through there. It look like it is too. Great. Oh, what's that over there? Is that where I'm supposed to go? To the book. To the book. No, not to the book. That's dead, bruh. You must purge the Chronos gates. I shall see to your questions thereafter. Enter the Chronos gate. Oh, get the fuck up out of here. I don't know if these are the Chronos gate. No. No clue, bro. I'm lost. I'm leaving. Man, what level is they? They already get like bounties and shit. I ain't strong enough to get no bounty. Did I get one? Excuse me, are you a part of the Chronos order? No, it doesn't matter. You got me fine. Damn, she tall. Gotta find a little furry friend. You want something too, bro? certain, are you set to leave the settlement? I hate to impose, but can you do me a favor? What is it? Appreciate it. Just outside the settlement, it's a small farm. And my wife and I want to come for a future. She's looking forward to everything from us. My wife lost her life the very day the void invaded. I happened to only a week after our marriage. I expect you to understand how I feel, as I said, on others. Completing the memories being retrieved my way. Keepsake and burn whatever is left. Perhaps only then can I finally move on.
Take me with
Probably
you.
not.
Worry not. I shan't slow you down.
Are you supposed to? You gotta practice? Get out the way. Alright, come on, we go. Why do they always disappear, bro? The void. This is crazy right here. I don't want to enter the void.
Somebody save me! Please, if anyone can hear me, make haste to the waterfall!
Where the fuck is the waterfall? Oh, he up there. Bro, how the fuck?
Somebody save me! Please, if anyone can hear me, make haste to the waterfall!
How am I supposed to save him? Talk to the naked man. And what in Chrono's name? Does it really matter right now? The water is freezing. Leave it to me. That was it? Head to the camp located at the top of the waterfall. A man in despair. And they got maintenance, bruh. That is crazy. Wow. That's wild. That's a bunch of malarkey. It's 2 o'clock, bruh. I woke up so late. American Dad Part 1. Characters in real life. AI.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, won't you let the light shine
They didn't
eyes
do
in the
it?
sky, gazing far into the night.
Why y'all not gonna do Stewie, bruh? Before you buy.
It's Verizon's Summer Bundle. All new and existing customers get iPhone 16 Pro, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad. All three on us. That's up to $2,000 in value, only on Verizon.
It's a big, small world out there. Texas-based Calpine is one of the nation's...
Fucking news got ads, bruh.
The schools that get it are doing what UMGC is doing, 100% online, low cost, and focused on stuff that actually matters. Introducing cast, now let's see. It's a video game? Right behind the scenes. Oh, they did add something to
Nobody
it. Did
believed
they?
me at first, but now everyone wants
Official
one.
Xbox
My
pre-order
friends roast.
No, it was seafood I was supposed to be doing something. They said they was gonna add. Stay tuned for some shit. I guess they ain't do it. I don't know. The Toxic Avengers.
Armed political extremists have taken hostages downtown. Somebody do something!
Wait! Stop! We'll get to all of that. Just relax, okay?
We'd lost Shelly a year ago. These days, it's just me and the kid.
Looks great.
I'll just scrape off the black part. That part's pretty good.
Now give him back.
I don't want to hurt him.
Why didn't you do anything?
Sometimes it's better to do nothing.
It's going good.
You're saying that this corporation wouldn't
knowingly poison its own customers just to boost their own profit margins? Summon the nuts.
Okay, summoning the nuts.
I didn't want any of this. I'm a monster.
You're not a monster. Show him your good heart.
Hey, buddy, I'm your dad.
What the?
I wasn't even involved. But sometimes, you gotta do something.
Who the fuck are you?
Just some dude with a mouth!
I'm spinning the clear, holding hands at the dawn.
How does it feel to be a hero?
A simple melody.
Do you realize what's at stake here? Everything! Find him, bring him here. There you are.
Only the good things in life, that's all that matters.
That was just self-defense. You haven't killed anyone else, have you?
See, when you say, self-defense,
Only the good things.
He's an ugly son of a bitch, though.
That's all that matters to me.
The Toxic Avenger.
That's what the kids are calling him. I think it's swell.
Toxic Avenger. That shit gonna be hilarious. It was a video I wanted to see. When do that come out? Is that shit even gonna be on Steam? It's not. Oh. Shit only $15? The upgrade? That shit only $15. That's crazy. Until when? June 26th, a couple days. Do it have Steam Deck capability? Yep. This should be at the top. That should be like up here. Shouldn't have to scroll down to find that. Oh, so Death Stranding 2 is only on console PS5. Oh fuck. I'm not playing it. That's a bunch of shit. Okay, let me go to Switch accounts. So when I'm already on, bro, Jesus. Who's the big man on campus? Who's the big man on campus? Let's see.
This is what Ivy League universities you can get into with a 3.6 GPA.
90% of students.
So I'm not sure if you guys remember, but a while ago, there was a case of a white woman calling a child the N-word after this child was stealing their stuff from the mother's purse, allegedly, and all that stuff. And she received $500,000 on GoFundMe. And then there was another.
I wonder if this is like Twitch and then this is Kick. Oh no, this is Twitch on this side, and I think this is Kick on this side. That's dope.
Black kid who murdered a white kid at a school, and people were labeling it as safe defense. But then later on, people were saying, well, it wasn't self-defense, it was just in cold blood. And then that kid the black kid who killed the white kid received around $700,000 on GoFundMe. And between these two people, of a white person calling a black person the N-word and a black person killing the white person, a pseudo race war happened. This is a big thing that happened on Twitter, a big thing that happened on even YouTube was being covered by the likes of like Asmongold, myself, Nuxtaku, Sensitive Society, More Pegasus, and many like those as well.
Poor people.
Well, it turns out there's been a development in the Carmelo Anthony case. What actually happened during that event? And we will see who won this battle of competitive racism. Now, me personally, I think killing someone is way worse than saying the N-word. I know a lot of people really want to make it seem like saying that word is the biggest crime on earth. Saying a word is a hell of a lot different than fucking killing someone. So let's see what's going on with what actually happened with Carmelo Anthony.
Behind the word. What he's saying is accurate, but it's the meaning behind the word, like where the word came from, is the problem. And some small-minded people don't understand that.
And let's see if we can shed any more light on the
It's
truth.
like calling it's like disrespecting a Jewish person. That's not okay, but still calling a black person the N-word is okay. Like, y'all need to actually make that shit make sense, bro.
Of the situation that actually happened. If Carmelo Anthony was found to be killing this person in cold blood, if they called him a couple names and then they killed him, that's not an equal action to what was caused. I feel like everybody on the GoFundMe should be refunded, as well as the kid should stay locked up for a very long time. He was already sentenced to 10 years in prison, I believe. But let's see what's going on here.
We sent our IT producer, Kelsey Mittauer, to watch that video. She joins us now in studio. But in general terms, what did the video depict? What'd you see?
Well, what do you think's going to happen in this awesome thing?
Metcalf ass go, no, that boy going
Carmelo Anthony's going to go to jail.
Carmelo going to jail.
Good.
That's going to be a very big burden for the defense, is that they're going to have to show through the video evidence that there was an altercation. Because if there is a lack thereof an altercation, it's going to make Carmelo Anthony look bad.
Yeah, but who cares showing a murder in a bad light? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares?
So
do you guys know what that kid would have had to have done to get to where that situation could have occurred? One, he would have to be in the wrong place where he wasn't allowed. Two, he would have had to have brought a lethal weapon to school. And then three, unprovoked or even slightly made fun of, be so emotionally and mentally unstable that he thought, I was being made fun of, so now I'm going to kill you with a knife. And that's personal.
Crazy, just like
a stabbing
like
is way more personal than a fucking shooting. You don't do that shit by accident. You have to be deranged to stab someone.
Not necessarily, because a gun is easy to pull. A knife is actually harder to actually, like, you don't have to be deranged. You have to be deranged to shoot somebody, because you can shoot somebody from 20, 30 feet away. You just got to have aim. So that's more insane than actually up close to somebody. Like, you have to be provoked, or something has to happen to you for you to actually stab somebody, bro. You ain't just go walk up to, well, some people do. Never mind.
On multiple times.
Utah and Florida just passed bills to ban fluoride in the water supply. Why are these states suddenly doing a massive U-turn on fluoride?
This is an ad.
So breaking news, and I think to a certain degree, is going viral online, and is that Carmelo Anthony's track meet footage has been released, but only to a certain group of people. And they articulate what they saw in the video road clip.
Okay.
Frisco ISD is releasing surveillance video of the stabbing at the track meet that led to the death of a student back in April, but only under very strict conditions. So through open records, they will allow whoever requests it to view that video, but no recording whatsoever is allowed. On that note, we sent our IT producer, Kelsey Mittauer, to watch that video. She joins us now in studio to walk us through what you saw. We're going to go in order here in just a second, Kelsey, but in general terms,
so this is a first eyewitness to the actual events that occurred. Okay, great.
Depict what you see.
It shows everything from the moments leading up to the stabbing to the medical response to then the beginning of the police investigation.
Okay, and it lasted several minutes is what they
Okay, so we know you're going to watch this demo at double speed. All software engineers do. Buckle up, we're keeping it quick. Here are 5 Monday
showed you.
It did, about 30 minutes.
Okay, so let's start in the beginning now and talk a little bit about what you saw at the front end of that video, because you got to see.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
the attack, the actual stabbing took place?
So it starts, I started watching about 9:53. The camera shows half of the field. So it's about from the 50-yard line on, and the tent where it happened was kind of right in front of the 50-yard line, but the camera is down here.
Okay.
It's positioned across the field.
Okay.
So everybody in the video, you can tell they are kids or adults, but no one's identifiable.
So a long shot is what
a long shot, yeah.
So a couple minutes in, and you actually see the altercation take place.
Yes, everything leading up to it, everyone's milling about. It seems very normal, and then right at 9:55, that's when like there's this explosive movement or action between two people under the tent, and that's when the employees in the room told me that's when the stabbing happened at 9:55.
Right, and you were talking about people kind of start to scatter at that moment. Obviously, something went wrong. So what happens next? Because now a little bit later on, that's when the ambulance shows up.
Right. So when the ambulance arrives, it actually comes through near the end zone at the gate, and then it comes up to the 50-yard line directly in front of the tent. You can see Austin Metcalf is right here, but then when they pull up close to
This is Pod 5, the first fully immersive sleep system. Intelligent, adaptive, effortless. It doesn't replace your bed, it transforms it. Pod 5 listens and responds to your needs in real time, adjusting temperature, elevation, and sound while you sleep. Built to give you all-night comfort with an
to the tent, they realize that they can't get the stretcher to him because of the barrier of the bleachers. So at that point, then the paramedics have to get out, and then they have to walk all the way back to the end zone. This is actually, on the next slide. They have to go all the way back to the end zone and then come all the way back. That takes another couple.
This is a bunch of really goofy graphics being used to the depiction of a child that was murdered. I'm not going to lie. Like, man, this looks like some fucking Dora the Explorer shit.
Couple of minutes. So at this point, they've arrived, and they are actively working on Metcalf at that point.
And we want to reiterate, we're using some imagery here to sort of denote exactly what was happening here, these little icons that were using the ambulance, because, again, the video was not able to be released. You're watching...
Well, yeah, I would assume that it wouldn't be able to be released. Jesus, I wish we had the original video here. That's insane.
All of this happened, Kelsey, and you're watching the time sort of elapse. What are you thinking about when you see this, especially when you see sort of the issues in getting Metcalf out of there?
I mean, you know, I understand why it happened the way it happened. They were still working on him, actually. The thing that really struck me is they're working on him, and that's when you see the rain's coming down heavier, and then they actually pull out the blue tarp.
The blue tarp that we saw.
Right, and then I noticed the crime scene tape is already up. I was so focused on here, I didn't even see that, but they're building the crime scene actively around him as they're continuing to work on him in the bleachers.
So that was
here we go. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick. I think it's time for me to interject and get some things established. So with the video footage that have been articulated, it sounds consistent. Now, she's not saying a lot. The video footage doesn't seem like it's the end-all, be-all. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, plus it's a long shot, which really fucking blows. But that's pretty much all we have to work off of. But, I mean, it would be pretty obvious to know when a situation would require for stabbing and self-defense, which would be like a violent action. I mean, there was two guys, right? But it appears there's only one guy who maybe was talking to him, but you'd be able to pretty much know if you were there when a knife would be required, because that's such an extreme situation. And if it really did look that calm, even though it was across the football field, this to me seems that maybe some mean words could be exchanged. That's me heavily giving the benefit of the doubt that this just wasn't full out in cold blood, because here's the thing, and this is the big thing that people should know, is if a kid's bringing a knife to school, that's for a reason, right? You don't just have a knife on you when you're on school. This isn't him grabbing a knife or finding a knife or picking up a rock or using the bleachers. This is a kid who came to school with an idea that he had in mind that he wanted to execute on. That's what's really fun. What was the tent for, though? What was a track meet where certain teams stayed underneath certain tents?
The statements
People
are
need
going
to
to be more
understand the
pertinent
world that
than
they
the
live
grainy
in,
video
bro.
footage. But what I think it will show, that's going to be a very big burden for the defense, is that they're going to have to show through the video evidence that there was an altercation. Because if there is a lack thereof an altercation, it's going to make Carmelo Anthony look bad. Because if you see people fighting an altercation and then right around that time you see a stabbing, then that could be different. But it appears that people who allegedly saw this video, because I can't verify if they saw it or not, I believe they wouldn't get on the news and lie because they'll get sued, the socks will get sued off. That they're saying that it does not appear to be a brawl, or it does not appear to be a mob attack against Carmelo Anthony, and therefore his self-defense claim does not seem prevalent.
Well, what do you think is going to happen in this?
Yeah, because people were saying that, oh, yeah, there was a bunch of kids versus just one. He had to do it. Or it was 2-on-1. He had to do it. But, like, if they were just talking, there is no way that a stabbing would be required. Even if they called him, like a fucking N-word. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you call me N-word, that means I get to kill you. That's just not how that works, man. I know that some people want you to think it works. That's not how that works. People need to chill the fuck out.
Awesome.
Metcalf ass. No, that boy going
Carmelo
to jail.
Anthony's going to go to jail.
Carmelo going to jail. Because this, listen, you cannot bring a weapon to school.
Yep, true.
So you can't say I was
What if he says, but what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense, because if you are afraid the day before, well, you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? Parents, you notify the school teachers. School teachers that bring these kids in here and resolve this issue. It's called conflict resolution.
Boy, oh my God. That shit don't work like that. That shit sounds good. You could tell your parent will call the school will say, oh, okay, we dealt with it. We're going to put them in separate rooms. That ain't go do shit after that bell ring. They still got to go walk home, walk to the bus stop, do whatever they got to do. They go see that person. Yes, during school, they're going to separate them. After school, even if it's still on, they know that the principals or everybody ain't walking nobody to the damn home or to the bus stop. They not doing that. Okay, the school's out, you could go now. And then that person probably go look for the other person. Like, that shit sounds good, but that shit don't work like that. Motherfuckers act like they ain't never been to school before.
Taught in homes that has morals and values, you tell the teacher. Somebody you tell the teacher, let the teachers know, so when y'all have an altercation, you're cleared and you're covered.
There is no situation where you think, oh man, these people are bullying me. That means I have to kill them right now. That's just not, no, fuck no. Nobody should have sympathy for this fucking kid, man. Straight up. I mean that genuinely. Carmelo fucked up really bad. Like, this is horrible. Straight up fucking horrible.
We don't.
Documentation beats conversation. So word to documentation to say this is self-defense. It's a premeditated crime because you took a weapon in fear. Anticipating to use it.
That was premeditated, though.
It's at a track meet. You get ready to run track with other kids, and you got.
But how do they know? Like, this nigga ain't never. He probably take the knife to school every day. Every day. Like, we don't know that. It ain't just this one day that he took the knife to school. But,
got a knife on you. No, man, you got to go to jail. You got to go.
Yeah, so it was a track meet, and what happened is certain people stay in certain tents. And so Carmelo went into another person's tent, and from what I've heard from the witnesses of who were there, Carmelo was rummaging through some other kid's stuff. The kid said, hey, man, don't go through my stuff. You're not supposed to be in this tent. And then Carmelo stabbed the fuck out of this kid multiple times.
ChatGPT, can I make money online with $0?
Yes, you can. Using a new method called Airbnb co-listing, you can manage properties.
And his... Let's see. ChatGPT. It's not working. God damn it. Hey, ChatGPT, can I make money online with $0?
Absolutely, you can. There are plenty of ways to earn money online without any upfront investment. You could try freelancing, offering services like writing, graphic design, or even tutoring. You could also consider affiliate marketing or even creating content on platforms like YouTube or Twitch and monetizing it as you grow. It all depends on what skills you have and how much time you're willing to invest.
I don't know what the fuck they was talking about in that commercial.
Twin brother held him in his arms while he bled to death. That's what I've heard.
There's no
Obviously, allegedly, but that lines up with what I've heard from the other woman saying right there.
So when is it our right to kill the bully? I don't give a fuck what the bully did. He don't have a right to die.
Oh, it was only one stabbing? Oh, okay. Never mind, guys. It's not that bad. It was only one stab. No, it wasn't multiple stabs. It was just one stab in the heart. Okay, so it's not even that big of a deal. Okay, great. All right, thank God.
Man, you weak man. That's why I say.
It was peaceful stabbing. Okay, peaceful stabbing.
Teach the kids how to deal with bullies, and this won't happen. We're all not equal. Even in nature, you can be feeding a flock of birds. There's going to always be one bird to come in and take the food from the. This is nature. Yeah. You cannot get rid of bullies. Teach the kids how to deal with them. Bullies build character. You go to.
He did deal with them. He stabbed him. He dealt with it the way he knew best. God damn. Yes, it was overboard, but shit.
Work. It's going to be a bully supervisor, a bully co-worker. You cannot get rid of the bully. Yep. Teach our children conflict resolution.
I want to know what would have happened. Well, see, can we see the video, bruh, of the altercation? Like, they don't even have to show the stabbing. They could blur the shit out. They could release the video and blur it. They always releasing other shit. Like, the video you about to see is It's very graphic and da 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 da. Like, show the video so we, as the world, could assess it and give our own opinion, not opinions based on what other people are saying.
Everything don't have to end in violence. But when you come from the black culture, everything is disputed in violence.
Yeah. That is the problem, though.
It's the culture.
That's the culture. That's how they solve. When you have a serious issue, they don't even contemplate trying to talk it out.
We teach a no snitching rule, right? So our kids are walking around with these mafia rules, codes, and ethics of the streets that's held over children about no snitching. So now I have to take a weapon because I don't want to be a snitch and kill another kid. Oh, it's a simple solution. Go tell the teacher. Tell your parent.
Now, when it comes to the ambulance.
Also, I'll be real. I just told on everybody. Yeah, it worked really well. It was easy. Oh, hey, teacher, this guy fucking sucks. Then when I was in senior, I was just out of fucking control. And then I would beat the shit out of people. Well, no, I didn't beat the shit out of them, but I would like put them in lockers. You know, I would put them in trash cans. I would throw them into the ground. I would throw them into water fountains. I mean, I broke property by throwing a kid into a water fountain once. That was hilarious. But I would only bully people who were bullying. I'm not gonna lie, I was a fucked up kid. And sure, I could have done other ways to resolve it, but I wanted to hurt them, right? I didn't like seeing people hurt me or hurt other people the way that people hurt me. So I decided upon myself to enact my own form of justice because I thought I was fucking Batman and I bullied bullies, you know what I mean? But like, obviously there was a better way to handle that and nobody should do what I did, right?
Ambulance working on somebody. I would argue that a medical personnel jumped up into the stands and began CPR as they get the stretcher to come around and get Austin Metcalf. Also, the reason that they put crime scene tape up is because they probably knew that Austin Metcalf had already died. Like, this is one thing I think people have to understand because there's legitimate protocol that you have to do, although you know that there's an end result. Like, for instance.
Yeah, of course. But it's like you don't want little kids seeing a dead body, right? That's going to traumatize them for life.
You don't stop doing CPR on somebody just because they die, if that makes sense. Right? Until you can get them to a medical facility where they could possibly be reassessed and there could be life-saving measures. If a person is completely dead and they're ruled dead at the scene and there's absolutely nothing you can do to save them, then they will leave the body at the scene, tarp the body, and create crime scene tape. The medical staff will leave, and the coroner will come and get the body later after they process the scene and recreate the scene and everything else. But in a situation like Austin Metcalf, him being a young man, just because he goes unconscious or his heart stopped beating doesn't mean that they're not going to continue to do CPR on him, and does not mean that they're not going to try to transport him to see if they can save his life at the hospital. Therefore, it would be reasonable that he had already died at the track. He probably went unconscious. His heart stopped beating because he got stabbed in the heart, and he was completely dead. He died in his brother's arms. He was laying there. But they're not going to just let him. They're going to try to do some form of CPR on him until they can assess the issue at a hospital. So the reason why they may have been putting up the crime scene tape and putting the tarp over because they pretty much knew he was dead. And they want to prepare for a murder scene. And they had to go through the rigmarole of, you know, trying to save him and putting him in the ambulance and pronouncing him dead at the hospital. So just so you guys know, because it does seem to be odd that they did all this and all that and they put the tarp up and everything, but the kid is still kind of alive. It's like, no, I have been to cases and scenes like that before where we got to do our due diligence and try to do the best that we can, but we do know the person is gone. And there's probably no way of saving the person, right? Like, for instance, I had a guy who it was a drug deal gone bad, which we found out later on.
I just got paid $60,000.
Bro, this is like the fifth fucking commercial in like less than 5 minutes, bro.
I don't know if you can see this, but
Wrong. It was the most mysterious scene I've ever seen in my life because we had no idea why we were seeing what we were seeing. And I'll just give you a quick rundown. Maybe you can put me full screen. I'll just give you a quick rundown because I think it's pertinent and some of y'all may find this interesting. This is the wildest call I've ever been on in my life. So what happened on this call was that we got a report of a man walking down the street with a gun. And so in Arizona, you can carry a gun if you want to. So it's like, what's the harm in that? We'll go check it out and see what's going on. But then when we get a little closer to the scene, and this is in a community where they don't call the police. They call it the village. It's a bunch of Native American people and they hate the police. So they never call. I don't care if you died, they won't call. So the fact that somebody called a man walking down the street with a gun was suspicious a little bit. So we went to respond. And then they said the man is now parked in a car in the front of our house with a gun in his hand, with a gun. And so now he's a threat to the public. Everything goes off. We got 100 cops flying to the scene. We getting out with AR-15s. We going up. We see the truck with all the doors open. And then when we get to the truck, we clear the truck, right? And then we clear the area. Nothing's going on. The people in the house haven't come out. Nobody knows what's going on. We're like, how's this truck just sitting here? And then we noticed the guy in the front seat had got shot in the head, and he was literally coagulated blood. He had been sitting there for a period of time. So they didn't even call when he got shot and killed. So then that's when the crazy stuff happened. We couldn't rescue him. We had to use a dog leash to try to get him. He had blood all over his body. He slipped out all his clothes, blood all over my shoes, brain matter on my face because I had to throw him on the gurney, which was an impossibility. Only by the grace of God I can get him up there because he was about 250, 280 pounds. The firefighters, they parked down the street, but they run the gurney. We had to go get the gurney and run it up a half a block because they can't enter into an active crime scene or like an active scene. So we didn't know how to lower the gurney. So the gurney is like about 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall, maybe 3 or 4 feet tall. And this guy's covered in blood, so we can't grab him. I can't grab his body because it's slippery. We using a dog leash because one of the K9 unit guys came and helped, and the only way we can get him is try to wrap his upper body in dog leash and pick his body up and throw him on the thing. Well, you can only imagine that nobody could do it but me. And the guy weighs like 280 pounds. So only by the grace of God, I could lift his body up just enough to get him under my knee, and I flipped him up on the gurney. But when I flipped him up, his head went forward and went back like this. But when his head went forward, some of his brain matter hit me in the face, and blood got on like around my mouth. It was disgusting. Some of it got on my badge, and it was terrible. But anyway, saying all this to say, he was pretty much dead, right? He had lost a third of his brain matter. He got shot in the side of the head, and some of his brain was on the back seat, and you know, so it was clear that he was dead. But we still had to do everything we can to try to save his life. So we did all that. Then we had to run a half a block with the gurney, with him halfway on the gurney, because I couldn't get him all the way on the gurney. I just got his upper body on the gurney. So we run it with the gurney. His legs are hanging off the gurney. His upper body's on the gurney. I'm holding him. We still don't know who shot him and where the shooters are at. And we run him down there to the fire department. I remember it was something I did that was very insensitive, but I didn't mean to do it. I had blood all on my face and some brain matter parts. And I was worried about blood getting in my mouth because I don't know if the guy have hepatitis or AIDS.
Of course.
And so I just remember getting there and I'm like, my face, like somebody like wipe my face off. And they were like, can you wait? And we kind of busy here. Like we try to say this guy's likely got shot in the head. And then, you know, after that, I realized that, oh crap, that does make sense. I do need to kind of pipe down a little bit. But I ended up wiping my face off, and I had to go home and change my blood. My uniform was covered in blood. And then I went to another call with a grandma. And grandma wanted me to swipe for fingerprints because somebody broke in the house 15 hours ago. But I did. I treat everybody with respect and dignity, and I did. But that's just the instance how police work. I went from this crazy crime scene with blood and guts and all this stuff and all this trauma, and then trying to deal with grandma, who's, you know, her biggest issue right now. Somebody broke in her house and stole some stuff. Anyway, I say that to say, I think the guy was already dead. We had to still do everything we can to save his life, but we began to set up crime scene tape and everything. Although he had gotten transported to the hospital, we knew he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah. The reason why they were saying this is because some people were saying that they were faking it by putting up tarp and police tape too early around it, which is just, you know, conspiracy theory. That's just standard protocol for police operations. But yeah, I mean, in the case with Carmelo Anthony, obviously now we have eyewitness to what actually happened, albeit across a football field. If a kid is bringing a knife to school, it's premeditated what he did. He brought that knife to school for a fucking reason. Yeah, it doesn't matter if somebody calls you words and says, hey, man, get out of our tent, or hey, man, stop stealing this stuff out of my backpack.
Yeah, if he was stealing, then yeah, like, bro, the fuck you stealing for? He's a bum. That's what he is. He's a bum. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
That doesn't give you the right to stab them. Even if they were to call you the most horrific shit, calling someone a name never justifies your ability to fucking murder them. And I think it's ridiculous that people are humoring this fucking guy. I think it's fucking ridiculous that this person received over $500,000 of support on his GoFundMe to rebut his house just for murdering a white person. Listen, guys, I understand you may not like white people. You may not like black people. But that doesn't give you a right to justify everything bad that happens to white people or everything bad that happens to black people. People are people. And it's the same thing who support Hassan. I don't mean to make it about him, but just because you agree with the guy's political views doesn't mean you have to support with everything that a person does. There's too many people who see this world in black and white, and the reality is everything's a shade of gray. And just because this person also watches your favorite anime doesn't mean that they're a good person. Just because the person plays the same video games as you doesn't mean that you should date them. You need to judge everything by a case-by-case basis, because if not, that is where society crumbles. And I'll be real, the shit with Carmelo Anthony, it was a massive fucking L for humanity, and I think a lot of people who were supporting him should be fucking ashamed right now. And I honestly hope everyone who supported that GoFundMe gets their money either refunded and, you know, the kid goes to jail because he's unsafe to have around real people, and that's just the truth.
44 minutes ago. Damn, I thought but ain't he in jail? Don't look life. Switch to The switch the two. Oh man. Bloodwalkers, let's see this. Oh, I still got it on mute. Actual gameplay footage from the work in progress pre-beta.
Hello, my name is Daniel Sadowski and I'm the design director at Rebel Wolves. I would like to welcome you to the Blood of Dawnwalker summer gameplay video. Our game is a story-driven, open-world dark fantasy RPG set in medieval Europe. The game is currently in pre-beta stage, and what we are going to show you is just a part of one of the mid-game quests. It's a really cool story involving legendary swords and a haunted almshouse, but today we'll focus on showcasing our gameplay systems.
Oh, man.
We're starting on the outskirts of Svatro, the game's largest city and the capital of Vale Sangora. From here, we could head anywhere the eye can see, explore ancient ruins, or sabotage vampire blood transports. But it's not just about where or when you go. It's also about how you approach the main quest and shape the story, making each playthrough uniquely your own. For now, we're following the road. Cohen is on his way to the city's cathedral, chasing leads about a powerful weapon said to be hidden in its crypts. But first, we'll have to deal with some bandits who camped out by the main road. Traveling through Vale Sangora is never boring. The world is dense with quests, random encounters, and locations steep in lore. This will be a great opportunity to show you our combat system. Our goal was to make the player feel like a real swordmaster who closely observes his enemies. We'll begin this fight by using acrid dust to stun one of the enemies. Now, when you attack, you choose one of four directions: up, down, left, or right, in order to hit the opponent where he is unable to parry. And similarly, when defending, you have to take note of the enemy's intent and the direction of the attack. On the left side of the screen, just above Cohen's health, you have activation charges that will be filled in with each successful attack, block, and parry. Once they are full, you can use one of the active abilities which allow you to take a more tactical approach to fighting. We started the fight by throwing some acrid dust. And now let's cast Burning Blood. It's a hex which boils the enemy's blood and burns their skin, dealing physical damage over time. Alright, time to finish this fight. Let's use the final activation charge to cast the archery attack, which actually decapitated the last opponent. Our hero quickly dispatched the bandits, so let's loot a few items they've left behind and open the inventory.
That's dope, bruh.
First of all, let's replenish our health by eating something. And then take a closer look at this cool-looking weapon we just picked up. Ah, it has better stats than our current weapon, so let's equip it right now. We've also leveled up, so let's use this opportunity to spend the newly acquired skill point in one of Cohen's skill trees.
Blue,
the skills in the Blood of Dawnwalker are divided into three trees. One for human, one for vampire, and one shared between the two. We also have an active abilities panel. We can use it to unlock additional abilities to use during combat. Note that during the day, the health bar is not regenerating. You need to find consumables like the one we've just eaten. The hexes we've just used also consume some of Cohen's health. Be aware of that. The way our magic system works, there's always a price to pay for manipulating reality. But we can make it sting a bit less. Let's level up the Frugal Witchcraft skill, so next time we'll cast a hex, it'll consume fewer of Cohen's health points. Now that we've wrapped up the encounter with the bandits, we can be on our way to get inside the city. Right now, Cohen hasn't done enough to ruffle the vampire lord's feathers, so the gods will just wave us through. But the more damage you cause, the more suspicious and aggressive they'll become. So when you play the game yourself, you'll have to decide whether you want to challenge the vampires openly, or lay low until you're ready to strike and surprise them.
It's even bigger than I remembered. And it's grander than before. They're putting in new stained glass. The Knyaz doesn't deny the old faith.
Out of my face.
This is the rich district of the city, Silberkreis. There's also Altenmarkt, Neustadt, and the Middens. Each of the boroughs has its own feel and character.
Get your stinking ass out of here. I was just passing through, I swear. I got tired.
And sat down and started begging.
Looming high over the city is Brensis's castle, Greifberg. He took it over when he slaughtered the human ruler of the valley, Skender, as shown in the trailer we shared with you earlier in January this year. In order to complete the main quest and save your family, you'll have to storm the castle, alone or with help of friendly NPCs. We could do it right now if we wanted, but it would be super challenging.
No more drinks for you, my friend. Go home.
Oh, let me.
Waking up late, leaving daylight.
Oh, let me in.
You made a mess, and it's not that kind of inn.
Let's check the map. The cathedral is really close. There's plenty of other places to see and things to do here.
Damn,
a couple of inns, a medic, a blacksmith, an armorer, and other merchants.
Every merchant that most open world have.
You can see that not only the vampires came out of the shadows. This creature on the right is called an Uriash. Look around, especially at night, and you'll learn humans have lots to fear, not just the vampires.
Not just the vampires.
And here we can see guards pounding on some poor guy's doors.
What is it about? Singing songs that mocked him and the faith. Who told you this nonsense? Was it Livia?
It's just one of many different community scenes we're implementing in the game. Watch them closely when you play, as they might point you to new quests and hidden treasures, or signal changes in the game's world.
Once again, I humbly beg of thee.
I humbly...
Ouch!
I don't want to say it, Mum.
It's a prayer. It's what we have to say. Go on.
I humbly beg of thee, protect him and
That was sent forth.
Okay, we are at the cathedral gates. Again, since Cohen isn't yet wanted by the vampire regime, and it's daytime, we can simply walk inside.
The baptism of a newborn is a solemn moment, doubly so. A new life joins our flock, bringing happiness to its parents and to the congregation. Natus ex sanguine est, alitur sanguine, et in sanguine morietur. Ego te baptizo in nomine Dei. Amen. Don't I know you from somewhere, young man? Laslia, maybe?
Say that's right.
I'm sorry, but you must be mistaken.
Am I? Perhaps. Perhaps. My memory isn't what it used to be. Come with me. I'll take your confession.
I'm a vampire.
Thank you, but I have no need for confession.
Ah, so you deem your conscience clear?
I wouldn't go that far. But I'm sure you're a busy man, Father. So while I appreciate the offer, I feel that my soul shouldn't be your priority.
I won't press the matter. You are quite correct. I have many other duties to attend to. But please remember that in order to be saved, we all need to repent. Myself included. I hope we can speak again soon. Good day to you, Cohen.
Cohen?
What we saw right here was just one of many cutscenes we recorded for the game, which smoothly transitioned into a dialogue scene. We use cutscenes to highlight key scenes or showcase interesting bits of lore. Like this blood baptism. Creepy, isn't it? The core feature of the Blood of Dawnwalker is the dual gameplay loop. Remember, Cohen may be a human during the day, but he turns into a vampire at night, and has a different set of skills at his disposal. And this is just one variable that affects our quests. Depending on when you tackle a particular quest, what choices you've made earlier, whom you befriended, or whom you've angered, your gameplay and story experience will be very, very different. So each quest is a complex structure with multiple possible paths leading to the end goal. We maximize players' freedom and agency, offering you a narrative sandbox to play in. I wonder what secrets may be concealed up there, just beyond Cohen's reach. And how do we get there? It's impossible to do during the day, but come night, it's an entirely different story. Let us explain what we mean by taking our current quest as an example. During the day, we got inside the cathedral without any problems, since it's open for all to see and Cohen doesn't yet stand out from the crowd. The scaffolds, though, are outside of his reach.
What happened at night?
But climbing them won't be a problem for the vampire, who has many more exploration abilities at his disposal. Bear in mind, Cohen has not completed the quest yet. What's more, there are still a few clues to be found in order to solve this story. It's worth mentioning that narrative sandbox also means that we may completely abandon this quest and follow a different path to defeat Brensis. For today, we're focusing on the gameplay part, so let's see how we could tackle this particular quest during the night. We're starting right after dusk, as a vampire, on the rooftops of Svatro. Right now, we have 22 days left to complete this goal. This counter is always displayed and you will be warned each time it's pushed forward. So you have to be aware of the time, and it's more of a resource you'll be spending than a racing clock. As a vampire, you'll see and experience the world from a different perspective. You can travel quickly and easily access places beyond the reach of regular humans. Let us show you what we mean. This is Shadow Step, a unique vampiric ability, allowing Cohen to jump to almost any place within his reach. Now, let's take a good look around using the focus mode. This ability highlights objects of interest and loot. And there is something right here. This time, it's just some items to grab, but on other occasions, who knows? You might come across a hidden quest.
Well, who killed
Looks like our health is quite low. This is because, as a vampire, your health bar also represents your hunger level, and you start each night thirsting for blood. Remember, you have to quench this appetite in order to make full use of your vampire abilities, and rein in your monstrous nature around NPCs. Otherwise, you may end up draining someone important, which may lead to unpredictable consequences. We'd better feed them. Maybe on someone who is standing all alone. Like this drunkard.
So you can only...
Like this drunkard.
So these white areas are the only place that you can, like, do the little transfer thingy? Like, you can't just do it just normally, just to do it? Like if I wanted to go somewhere else, I can't just do that shit. I gotta do it where those are.
Let's grab him and use Voracious Bite ability. Unless you lose control due to hunger, you get to decide how much blood to drink. You can drain just a bit and knock your victim unconscious, or go all the way and kill them. And if you're adamant you don't want to hurt innocent humans, you can drink from animals and some other creatures.
Oh, that's cool.
Finally, we are at the cathedral, but it seems to be closed for the night, and the entrance gate is well guarded. Let's find another way in. Shadow Step is not the only vampiric ability you're gonna learn during your playthrough. Cohen can also use Plane Shift to scale walls and even ceilings smoothly. This will allow us to explore every nook and cranny of the cathedral.
Better be quiet. Is that Voyeurs Xanthe? What the hell is she doing here? What is she doing? Is that a ritual for the blood gods? They're covering up the old paintings. Why? One of the workers must have left it. Seems that the cathedral complex is quite big. The main building, cloisters, inner courtyard. The entrance to the crypt could be anywhere. Won't get anything done just standing around. Still.
This was a scene investigation, a mechanic we used to zoom in on and showcase key clues. This time we had a chance to learn more about the vampire's plans. Looks like they're keen to cover up the old frescoes, so that's something we could take a look at. This way we could learn more about the cathedral's past.
Who painted that, Michelangelo?
Looks like we aren't alone here. Underneath us there's a group of blood gods, soldiers hooked up on vampire blood, which makes them stronger. And one of Brances's vampire allies.
Oh, okay, so no. See, they should have showed that before.
Makes them stronger. And one of Brance's...
So you can teleport anywhere. That's just your guide of where you teleport at. Oh, sweet. That's sweet. But why you ain't just teleport like up here?
His vampire allies. It's Xanthe, the oldest vampire in Vale Sangora, and quite a powerful lady. Let's descend and check what's going on.
Oh, that was dope. You gonna stay hidden? She can't sense you if she's so all-powerful?
Don't think I don't see you skulking in the shadows. Come out!
I was saying, did you see me?
You're
find
interfering with my task. Who are you?
It doesn't matter.
Very well. I don't have time for interruptions. Let us dispose of him. Quickly! You've withstood it. Fascinating.
Cohen is using his claws to attack when in vampire form. Blood guards are dual-wielding opponents. Their attacks are pretty strong. Of course, even when fighting with claws, combat is still directional. Don't worry, Cohen can still use his sword as a vampire.
You haven't lived long.
We're just getting ready to pull it out.
Only after defeating all 3 of the Blood Guards, Xanthi deems Cohen worthy of a challenge, and she descends to face him. She uses her blood control powers to cast a multitude of attacks, like her blood whips, that hit Cohen from left and right. Xanthi is protected by a powerful vampire ability. Once her stamina runs out, Cohen will have an opportunity to strike and deal some damage. But be careful, cause Xanthi is quick to counterattack, and she will also try to restore her blood. Meanwhile, look at the indicator just below her health and stamina. It's a timer for the boiling blood skill that you've seen in the CGI trailer. So, if we don't hurry, the timer goes down to 0, and Cohen will eventually explode. And we're dead.
Wait.
We don't hurry, the that you've seen in the CGI trailer. So, if we don't hurry, skill that you've seen in the her health and stamina. It's a timer for the boiling blood skill that you've seen in the CGI trailer. So, if we don't hurry, the timer goes down to 0, and Cohen will eventually explode. And we're dead. Remember, we were only mid-game here, and Xanthi is one of the game's most punishing enemies. Defeating her right here and right now is very much possible, but it would be hellishly difficult. A fun challenge for hardcore players. Otherwise, we could load the game and explore the cathedral without drawing her attention. Or try to get to her while she's not surrounded by bodyguards. Xanthi, like all other vampire allies, has her own questline. Explore it, and you can learn more about her past, motivations, and maybe even try to reason with her. What you do is entirely up to you. Remember, our design principle is the narrative sandbox. There is no difference between main quests and side quests. There's just different stories that you weave together into your own unique adventure. But that's coming in 2026. For now, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this gameplay video presentation. We've just shown you a tiny glimpse of the Blood of Dawnwalker. There's definitely more to come in the coming months, so stay tuned for any updates being posted on our social media profiles. Goodbye.
Good boy. But I do want, what is it called? The blood? Didn't wish list it. I didn't wish list it. I didn't wish list it. I didn't wish this. Alright, man. There's nothing else for me to do. I got an hour before I have to leave and go back to this job that I just left. Seemed like 2 hours ago. But soon enough, life will show a new turn. Any other Jones in the endless collection? Fatal Attraction. That look like for real. Crazy, bruh. How to Train Your Dragon. I gotta watch that too, bruh. The live action one. I haven't seen it yet. And the live action one. It was another trailer that I wanted to watch. I kept seeing it pop up, but I don't know where I kept seeing it at. Fuck, bruh. Game developers first time. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Goodbye. The end of YouTubers. Two days ago. What is this?
If you've been thinking about a degree in cybersecurity or IT, check out UMGC. Low cost tuition, 100% off.
Let's go.
What even can this be?
Is this real? It had me 100% fooled.
Oh, come on, man.
That's scary.
So I've spent the last few weeks going down the rabbit hole to see exactly how easy it would be to replace myself with AI. And the answer...
It's easy. Everybody, like, in the coming couple years, in the foreseeable future, damn near every big creator is going to be replaced with AI, and ain't nobody going to know. And it's going to suck, but it's going to be. June update. Let's see if I could. Let's see. I think they still doing an update. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Why do people act like 50 is just super old? It's a 57-year-old grandma challenges her 13-year-old granddaughter to a foot race in the neighborhood.
Thus did hubris swallow me whole.
I want to know, hold on. That's probably why my shit is tripping, bro. Information to be continued. What the fuck is that? I gotta go back. What the fuck? Bro, where's my character at, bro? My character away. Alright, whatever. I'll be back on tomorrow. Hopefully the playtest is still going. If not, I have fun with it. It's what you call it, starting out to be like it's going to be a cool game. So. Can't wait till it releases, but all right, chat. I'll let y'all tomorrow.